Good morning. We'll call the Wednesday, April 12th meeting of the Criminal Justice Committee to order. Start with roll call, please.
Mr. Hess?
Present.
Mr. Long?
Present.
Mr. Fairfield? Mr. Tholen? Mr. Carrico? Mr. Eckhoff?
Present.
Mr. Hunter? Ms. Turner?
Present.
Ms. Monday?
Present.
Ms. Andrade? Ms. Armour Earps? Ms. Rittman-Akemi?
Present.
Mr. Scanlon? Mr. Wheeler?
Present.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay. I have not received anything yet for public comment. Is there any public comment at this time? Any public comment? Should have received the minutes for March 15th. Take a motion to approve. Mr. Long, second by Mr. Hunter. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Need to have a motion to move up the coroner. They have another meeting at 8:15 or 8:30, somewhere around there. Mr. Long, second by Mr. Eckhoff. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Mr. Gessner, in your package you should have a copy of the monthly report and the monthly receipts. I'll take a motion to combine and approve those. Mr. Long, Mr. Eckhoff again. Morning, sir.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Just wonderful.
I got you. Thank you very much for letting me go early here. Both Eric and I both have seminars today with the all days with the Gift of Hope on tissue donations and stuff that we do. But we're also getting hours for the funeral home directors for the Kankakee County area. So again, thank you for that. I'm sure my deputy's going to knock on wood here in a few minutes, but our calls have really dropped in the last 2 months, which is good. The number of autopsies are down, and most of the overdoses are basically down right now too. So I think because we're out doing a lot of the programs, we figured well over 3,000 people in the area, with seniors to middle-aged kids, all the way around the county here. We're still continually doing it. I hope that's working with the drop we have. So I'll have any questions on that at all.
Mr. Hunter.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Coroner Gessner, I think it was last month, you made a presentation and made comments on that new, not necessarily new, but it seems to be more pervasive now in our area, the horse tranquilizer that you talked about. Could you just give
Xylazine?
Yeah. Can you give us a brief overview of that?
Xylazine is a new drug that just came out basically in our particular area. It's not fit for humans at all. We're seeing it mixed with the cocaine and the fentanyl, which is a kind of a xylazine is a kind of a deadly drug anyhow. It's a little bit more powerful. We have gone down to the Senate. I think Mr. Rowe can comment on that too. Trying to if they pull over a car that's loaded with xylazine, there's nothing really we can do about it. So we have to get that into a bill and get it legalized, or control, so we can control that. It also is. We've had 6 cases of that in our area between a little bit at the end of 22 to right now. It comes in a vial, basically, and I say it's coming from basically. If you look at a lot of the news there, it's coming from the New York area over Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, up to Chicago, and when I hear about it from the northern corners, we realize it's going to be coming down to here to us, and it has. So we're still seeing the majority of the right now we're at 15 overdoses right now, with 1 pending. The average age is 51. The youngest is 42 right now in this in 2023. 11 males, 4 females. And basically, again, just about every case is fentanyl. And of course, xylazine is on also. So all I can do is talk about it. The people that are going against this in the Springfield are the veterinarians. They don't want to do that because it's a lot of paperwork. And my answer to them is, so is fentanyl. But we'll see what happens. I talked to Jackie Haas yesterday, and they're still going to push that through when they go back in a couple of weeks, I guess. So try to. It's not fit for human beings at all, and don't understand why people want to do that. But it's a mixture, and the mixture's done not. Maybe it's some done in the area, maybe it's not. But what I'm fear of, it's going to go in what they call the M30 pills now that they're out and about, which is filled with fentanyl, cocaine, and who knows if they don't throw xylazine in there. So, and we talk to the seniors on that all the time about their medications. Be sure and get rid of them. There's another one coming up here in October, in April, I believe. That you can get rid of your drugs, or you can go to any police department and drop them off. So it's amazing what happens in that aspect there. So we're getting around as much as I can. We're still going to Grant Park here coming up next week, and we'll be in Herscher to talk to the kids on all that. So you're more than welcome to anybody to come out to any of those programs when we do them. It's for the proms. We talk a little bit about everything about that, and I usually hit my final one about the drugs, because it's going to be an accident with somebody that has taken illegal drugs. So,
Any other questions or comments?
thank you, Steve.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Okay.
Up next is Ms. Cianci from the Circuit Clerk's Office. Take a motion to approve her report. Mr. Hunter. Second by Mr. Long. Good morning again, Sandy.
Good morning.
Good. Have a good day. Tell you brought it.
Your report.
Well, I have nothing special if anybody has any questions. The collections is down dramatically over the last 2 years. And that's basically because the laws have changed and people aren't encouraged to pay their bills. So,
It's still money that we'd have never got.
true.
Yeah. Any questions on Sandy's report? We have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What else you got for us?
So the chief judge asked me to give a little report about the basement because he wasn't able to be here this morning. So the basement looks awesome. It's moving right along. There's wainscoting in the jury assembly room, so it makes it more warm and inviting, I think. The colors that they've chosen are nice. It's really shaping up. So I think the first person that will be placed back in their office will be the jury commission coordinator. So that'll be the first one. But it's looking really good. I'm anxious to get that going. And then the other thing, we've started, the circuit clerk's office started with the Tyler Technology Project. We did a 2-day Zoom on March 29th and 30th, and with their development team. And then April 3rd through the 6th, they were here all day in person. So we met every day, all day, and just went through what we do and how we do it so that they can figure out how they're gonna collaborate and start the project. And then I think this week it's starting the public defender's and state's attorney's office on the attorney manager, and then they'll be doing the all week next week. So that's about it. We're moving right along.
Questions? Mr. Hunter?
Yeah, just a question, Sandy. And I was hoping Chief Judge Cunnington would be here because I was going to ask him about a guided tour. So we could get on the Tyler program. How will you assess the competencies of your staff to make sure that they're able to facilitate and implement the requirements?
It'll be a learning, you know, there'll be a lot of training. Once they have it close to being implemented, then they will start training the trainer and training us, and we will be set up in a classroom style. This is what we did last time when we did Courtview. They set up a training room off-site, and we went out there for a period of time every week and just learned how to do every little thing that happens. I mean, it's a union office. I have to, you know, they have to either decide that they want the job or they don't. I can't just, you know, fire them because they can't do the job.
Will you be in contact with the Tyler folks via Zoom, or will they have somebody during the transition on site?
When we're at that point, they'll be on site. There's going to be a lot on Zoom. They do have a lot of packaged training modules online that anyone can watch at any time on their own, you know, so I can have people set time aside every day if they want, or an hour a day or whatever. But the hands-on will be the in-person hands-on will be the best training. So, but that won't happen until next year for sure. I mean, they're not even close to, you know, right now. So it'll be next year. And if we're implementing like September or October next year, then the training will probably start a couple months before.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Sandy?
Thank you much.
Thank you. Up next, State's Attorney's Office, Mr. Rowe. We have a copy of the grand jury report and grand jury statistics report. Take a motion to approve, combine and approve. Ms. Turner and Ms. McEmming. Good morning, Jim.
Good morning. As you can see from the report, grand jury's up to 215 bills of indictment through the end of March. Just to compare, last year through the end of March, we were at 190, but we hit 215 at the first grand jury in April. So both 22 and 23 are down significantly from 21. In 2021 through the end of March, we were close to 300. We had 284 indictments, so that's probably a good sign. And you can see we're really loading up the grand jury schedule. I think there was 40 or 41 cases up at the last one, so that's pretty significant. When we slowed down a little bit during COVID, we were maybe at 20, 25. So back to normal with that.
Great.
Anyone have any questions about that report?
No questions. We have a motion, a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you.
I just got a comment.
Oh, Mr. Hunter.
Mr. Chairman, Jim, I just wanted to convey to you, a lot of us who were sponsors with you and your Easter egg hunt Saturday, and you know, some people use the word nice too often, but I thought actually when you looked at all the kids, the families, the mothers, fathers, aunts, uncles, grandparents, families were there, and the allocation of funds that you had towards the gifts were phenomenal. I heard that there was no gift less than $50, and I thought it was really phenomenal that you had all those people there circling the courthouse, all those eggs, and I wouldn't be surprised if you'll get more co-sponsors with you next year. And but I just wanted to take my hat off to you and your staff, Chris, and all of them for a marvelous job. I didn't see I saw smiles. I saw kids chomping at the bit with their bags, and the Masons and different people passing out bags, you know, for the kids, and for the kids to be up that early on a Saturday morning, not watching cartoons or whatever. It was something. And I'm being redundant when I say this. People were happy. Even Colton had his little baby there as well, too, in tow. But it was amazing. I mean, I got phone calls that, man, that was really nice, you know, and and people from my church had called that morning. Said, well, what time does it start? I said, well, I told you last Sunday when it starts, 10 o'clock, but be there early. But it was really something to behold. It was just wow. And that's probably a description, wow, uppercase. But take my hat off to you and your staff. Good job.
Yeah, I don't get any credit for that. That was all Chris Borkart. He spent about 2 months getting that together. Credit goes to all the sponsors. I think we had close to 100 sponsors come forward and either provide gifts or funds to buy the gifts. Wes and his guys did a great job getting the courthouse grounds clear and looking good.
Tell us about the kid that got the golden egg, $500 egg.
Yeah, a young man from Bug, just from a conversation with his mom. Definitely a kid that we would want to win that money. So yeah, that was great that he won. I was very, very happy. We heard a little bit about his story and couldn't have put it in better hands. So,
Mr. Eckhoff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Rowe, I just have one recommendation for next year. I think you should be the Easter Bunny.
Easter will be canceled before that happens.
Wear your football helmet.
Yeah. Thank you.
Up next, the Public Defender's Office, Mr. Pennewick. In the package, you have a copy of Ed's monthly report. Take a motion to approve. Mr. Eckhoff, second by Ms. Monday.
Morning.
Good morning, Ed.
Good morning, everyone. I've got nothing to add, so I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions on the report? We have a motion to second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
And just very briefly, I think I said this before, but come on, if anyone wants to come by my office, see how it's laid out, see how we're situated, by all means do so. I'd be happy to answer any questions, so it's an open invitation.
Very good, thank you. Moving along, Mr. Latham, Probation Department. In the package, you have a copy of Tom's monthly report. Take a motion to approve. Mr. Hunter, second by Ms. Monday. Good morning, Tom.
Good morning.
Comments on your report?
Just what I always point out, that you can see there were several thousand contacts last month. Good month. 441 drug tests. And we have currently in juvenile division, we have 6 kids in custody at River Valley. And that's all I have, unless there's questions.
Any questions on the report? Ms. Monday.
Am I reading this correctly that for your caseload totals in March, 1,175 just in March?
Where are we seeing that? I'm sorry.
On probation and court services at the top, that report.
Activity report.
Activity report, March 2020.
Yes.
Okay, so 1,175, but year to date only 1,402.
Yeah, so early in the year. So.
But 1,175 just in March.
That's currently.
Oh,
yes.
current totals.
Yeah,
oh,
yes.
gotcha.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
total, not just for March, but that's the
total. And then we had people on up to this point that are now off.
Okay.
So is that.
Mr. Hunter.
Any interns at all?
Yes, we do. Yep.
Okay,
We have one.
how many you got?
We have one. We usually take no more than 2. We have one right now, and they're always interviewing. I want to say I can't. Maybe when school's out, we'll have another one. That's usually when we have 2, is during that time period. So what, May, June?
Is it difficult for your supervisory oversight for the interns or not?
No, we have a pretty good program in place, and we have a structured program. Basically, even if they're in juvenile division, they still get experience in the adult world, and vice versa. If they're in the adult intern, they get experience in the juvenile courtroom or juvenile side. So we have it all set up, and it works pretty well.
And the source of your interns, Governor State,
ONU, but we'll get ISU.
Oh.
Around the state, people come back home for the summer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so we do a lot of, I know Illinois State, they'll come through my desk, a supervisor handles all of it, but I'll review the applications. And yeah, they're from all over the state, but mostly ONU and governors.
Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? We have a motion, a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. What else, sir?
The only other thing is I just want to give you an update on our public service work program. Currently, we have 410 individuals with open case plans, totaling a little over 61,000 hours on the books. So right now, with the weather breaking, we are reaching out, actually probably today. We have something going out to all the municipalities, public service work, now that the weather's breaking and they're going to work. Once we get something set up with them, whoever that is and whatever it is, we'll send out a text blast to everybody that has public service work, and they're aware of the opportunity. And hopefully, now that the weather's breaking, it just over doubles our work sites, really. So hopefully we'll start, that's quite a few hours on the books, and hopefully we can start chipping away at it. So
Great. Any questions for Mr. Latham?
that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next, the sheriff. In the package, you have a copy of the sheriff's monthly report. Take a motion to approve. Mr. Hunter, Miss Monday. Good morning.
I was glad to hear that about your terms. Maybe I knew it before, but that's good stuff.
Good morning.
Morning. Just a couple comments on the report. Our Fed numbers continue to increase. However, they will level off, only because we only have so many beds. I've said that historically. There are only so many beds that we have, so at some point we would have to end up turning people away. We're not there yet, but we're getting closer. As you can see on the far right-hand side, right now, we currently $919,000 more through the first 4 months of this fiscal year than we were at this point last year. Based on our average housing so far, if our numbers stay the same, it looks like we are looking at bringing in about $10.6 million compared to last year, and that's just in housing, compared to 8.6 million in fiscal year 22. So those are good things. Our transports are continuing to increase, mainly due to COVID disappearing miraculously. We are going back to Chicago, back to the Central District of Illinois, which includes Urbana, Peoria, Springfield, as well as Indiana, the Northern District of Indiana, which is Hammond. So those are certainly on the rise. And as you know, at the Finance Committee, we did talk about vehicles which are currently unavailable. So
For most of those, the vans, no bus?
I'm sorry?
Are most of those transport vans, no the bus or anything?
Chicago, when we're taking federal detainees, yeah, we're bringing more than two. So anything more than two, we have to bring a van because we have nothing to transport more than two.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, Mr. Hunter.
You know, I don't know if it went over people's heads, but, you know, when the sheriff gave the data, the fiscal information in terms of last year compared to right now, I mean, that's phenomenal. It's a moneymaker.
We're working at it.
Yeah, but, you know, going back to what the chairman was saying about those vehicles, I know yesterday that came up and about the vehicles. And as much as you have the fiscal wherewithal, and I know you may say that getting those vehicles maybe almost takes an act of Congress, but what efforts are you taking to address those vehicle needs? consistently in terms of looking under every rock and crevice.
Well, yeah, and we have, but I think most importantly, the maintenance of the current vehicles that we have, obviously we're focusing on taking care of those vehicles as best we can, which we do anyway. But there are certain vehicles right now that we won't send out of county. So our transport guys, our transport supervisors do a great job of determining which vehicles are going where when we do have transport. So, I mean, it's working right now. We'll continue to try and find vehicles. I did get a call yesterday. It's kind of funny, as hard as, or as difficult as it is to find vehicles. I got a call yesterday from a company that we bought squad cars from previously, and he was just calling all the municipalities on his list because they got in 2 Dodge Durangos, which at this point don't do us a lot of good, because we just purchased Tahoes, so, and they were the same price. But you know, the vehicles, we do have the contacts out there with the various car dealers that they do contact us when there's something in. So I mean, they're just, especially the transit vans, we have better luck with obviously cars. The transit vans are going to be difficult, and both local dealerships are working hard for us to find those.
So it's still a supply issue?
Yes. Yes.
Going on.
Yeah, the second part, the sworn division, the numbers look very good right now, especially certain categories that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to jinx anybody. But you know, things are looking good on that side of it, and that's really all I have on the report.
Any questions on the report? Okay, you have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
On the staffing side, I know I brought this to this committee before. Corrections Administration has done a great job in recruiting, and actually to piggyback off of what Mr. Hunter talked or asked Mr. Latham about interns, we actually hired, we had an intern from Western Illinois, or Western Illinois University, or as I call it, the Harvard of the Midwest, because that's where I went. And we actually, following his internship, we actually hired him as a correctional officer. So, and what that does is that kind of gets the word out that, hey, if you intern with the sheriff's office in Kankakee, there's a good likelihood that you could step right into a pretty darn good paying job right out of college, which isn't the case for a lot of college graduates. So good kid, local kid, smart to go to Western Illinois, and although there's no good way to get there, but so yeah, so we also utilize interns as well. So, and our interns get the full gamut of our department. I mean, they go to investigations, they go to patrol, they go to corrections, they go to courthouse. I believe they might even spend a day in probation to kind of see the full criminal justice system itself in Kankakee County. So very beneficial. The interns are very beneficial. We use a lot from Olivet as well. We get a lot of locals. We've used ISU, Governor State, but I'm kind of lean towards the guys from Western Illinois. But anyway, and for those of you, if you saw our press release the other day, we did actually have 2 squad cars wrecked in a situation where an individual who had gone on a crime spree in the last couple of weeks in both the city of Kankakee and the village of Bradley, had numerous charges. The last place that he robbed from was a jewelry store in the village of Bradley, and he came out of the area, came out of that area, hit a car, hit and run. Our guys found him and ultimately got him into custody, but not without some damage to squad cars, and fortunately there were no injuries to persons. So that was the positive part of that. And there is a good likelihood that, based on the way the Safety Act was written, that were it not at the Illinois Supreme Court right now, this individual would have probably been released. Yep. So
Yeah.
that's all I got on that. Animal control.
Animal control.
So last week we seized 25 dogs. So needless to say, our animal control facility is full with a capital F. There's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. If everybody in this room takes a dog, we'd be in great shape. So that's a little bit difficult. Animal control actually leaves one cage open just in case we get a bite call, because we have to take that dog and separate that dog. So we actually leave one cage open for that reason. But other than that, our facility is full. There is a current open investigation on the seizure of those dogs that we'll probably have some more details later. But I can tell you that our animal control officers, along with the state's attorney's office, helped out. The state's attorney's office helped out our animal control people, but our animal control officers did a great job in getting these animals that shouldn't be where they were. So hopefully we'll have some more information fairly shortly.
Was that all one location?
2.
Wow. Any questions on the animal control?
That's all I got.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there any old business to come before the committee? Any old business? Any new business? Any new business? Mr. Carrico's not here. Miss Monday. Okay, second by Mr. Long. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign.